back, everyone. Okay, so I asked you before the break, what can go up a chimney down, but can't go down a chimney up? That's a really tough one. Do you know the answer? It's an umbrella. If your umbrella is down, it can fit up the chimney. But if it's up, it's not gonna fit. That was really difficult. Well done if you got that. Okay, it is time to meet up with our special friend today. Let's see who's there. Hello.
Hello, I'm Marie and this is Blackberry Donkeys, and I've got a surprise for you. This is Teddy and this is Joseph. This is Joseph and he's a 6-year-old standard size donkey, and this is his best friend Teddy, and Teddy is a special kind of donkey. He's a miniature Mediterranean donkey. Donkeys like Teddy originally come from Sicily in Italy, whereas donkeys like Joseph here usually come from Africa and the warmer climates. Because of that reason, donkeys like Teddy and Joseph really love the summertime, so their favourite time of year is when it's really warm. And that's one of the reasons why they've got these really long ears. As well as being able to tell how they're feeling by where their ears are pointing, if they're flat back against their neck, it means they may be unhappy or a little bit angry or scared. If they're flopped to the side, it means they're just chilling or resting. Or if their ears are forward, it means that they're happy and alert and they've seen something interesting. In warmer climates, these ears help to keep them really cool, and they've got a far superior digestive system to horses. So Joseph and Bandit give rides to children, go on educational visits and go to parties and special events across the northeast. Teddy has a really special job. He works in care homes and he largely goes to care homes, dementia centres and hospices across the northeast. And when he's been a really good boy, this is his favourite treat, ginger nuts. Joseph. I can't get them out. There we go. One for you. And one for you. When Teddy goes to work, he wears special workwear, and we'll go across and have a look at that now. This is Teddy's passport. It's the law in the UK for all donkeys to have a passport. When Teddy was born, this passport was issued and it contains his name on the front and a special number which corresponds to a microchip that sits in Teddy's neck here. When Teddy travels out to jobs around the country, he takes this with him so that he can be identified. Although we call him Teddy, his actual registered name is Highbury Super Ted. Their ER is so loud it can travel for miles and miles. Yeah, they can do a bray. Obviously that's not as loud because his friend is just there. If they were to bray, they're as loud as they could go, because in the desert obviously they spread out to find enough food to eat, and so they've got to be able to shout really loud in order to call their friends back in. So they've got a really loud bray, haven't you, Teddy? So this is Teddy's work jacket, and you can see there he's got lots of badges and crochet that people have donated to him and made for him from the places that we've been to, the events that we've taken part in and the places that we've visited. This is his work jacket, and attached to the back there we've got some nice soft straps. And if you turn Teddy around, you can see at the back there we've got a little bag, and I'm quite sure you can work out what that's for. It's called an Upsy-daisy bag. So just like us, donkeys also need to get checked by the vet regularly, and also an equine dentist. So our equine dentist is due shortly, and when he comes he's going to check Teddy's incisors, his front teeth here. And he'll also open his mouth using a gag, and he'll look right up into the back of Teddy's jaw here. So inside of Teddy's mouth he has another set of teeth that enable him to chew up his hay and straw. They start here and go right up to the top of his jaw there. So Teddy's got a really great personality, such a cheeky boy. Part of Teddy's job as a therapy donkey, he goes into care homes and dementia centres, and he really enjoys the interaction, and he also loves watching their flat screen televisions. So if he can stay in the community room for that little bit extra time, then he will do. This is his best friend Joseph, and unfortunately Joseph's a little bit big to go indoors for care home activities, but he does visit outdoors. This is Bandit, and we've got his bells on here, and this is his bridle. We've done up his throat lash, and now we're going to pop his saddle on. So you would wear this equipment if he was to give out rides. It's nice and comfortable. The bridle is just for show, and what we do is we pop the reins around the front of the bar once we've done the saddle up, so any riders that are sitting on the saddle can hold on to this rather than the reins. Donkey saddles have two girths, one that goes across his tummy and one that goes just behind his elbow here. I'm just going to put there. He has a sheepskin sleeve that goes around his girth, and that keeps it nice and comfortable and stops him getting any marks or rubs. Now he's tacked up. So when at home, the donkeys are always stabled in at least a pair. Donkeys are really social animals, and whilst they can be happy with a horse or living alone, they're at their happiest when they're with another donkey. He's our only donkey that actually goes out on his own, because he doesn't care about being on his own. He's only looking because they're shouting to him. Our other donkeys always work in a pair. He would be sad if he wasn't stabled with another donkey when he come home, but when he goes out to work, he actually goes on his own, and he enjoys, I think, being the centre of attention, to be honest. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've learnt lots more about donkeys today. This is Bandit, and this is Teddy, and we'll see you soon. Bye!
Thanks, Marie, and thank you, Teddy, and thank you, Joseph, and thank you, Bandit, as well. I've learned so much about donkeys that I never knew. I like Teddy's special coat with all his lovely badges. How nice for people to give him those to wear. And his other outfit, his Upsy-daisies back. That is so funny. Right, let's go say hello to our other new friend, Alex, who has got some great stories for us. Hi, Alex.
Hello, my name is Alex and I'm here to read you a couple of stories. So shall we get started? Now this first story is called Goats, and you can probably hear a lot of animals in the background, and let's hope we can hear the goats. Now, the goats at Oosburn Farm are great. Not only can they climb just about anywhere, they can talk about just about anything in an interesting and entertaining way. They also discovered the invisible world, and this is how they did it. Now, on a day a bit like today, two goats, Connor and Kaylee, were off on their morning walk when they came across a rather unusual bush. Now, normally goats would just take a couple of bites here and there and move on. But Connor and Kaylee couldn't help themselves. The flowers were super tasty. The leaves were extra juicy and they tasted really nice, like squash. Something tells me we should calm down a bit, or there might not be any left for tomorrow, said Connor. It's just so tasty, said Kaylee. Every part tastes different and delicious. Have you ever eaten anything quite so fantastic? Never, said Connor. I would remember. Kaylee wasted no time and started digging up the roots. Soon she had hold of a large juicy root and was tugging away at it. Connor could see it was a two-goat job and grabbed another piece of the root and pulled as hard as he could. The root was not only super tasty, but Kaylee soon realized she could blow a very satisfying bubble. If she chewed the root long enough, the bubble would burst with a bang and a little giggle would come out. Connor soon got the hang of it, and Kaylee and Connor were soon in fits of giggles. Don't you want to share the joke with the rest of us? Said Daniel, an older goat with a big bushy beard and a large set of horns. We'd love to, said Kaylee. It's just that we don't really know why we're laughing. Try this, said Connor. The flowers were super tasty and fluffy, and the branches were fizzy and popped in your mouth, but the roots are absolutely delicious. They taste of... Now, before he'd had a chance to finish, Daniel, the other goat, was chomping away. Wow, said Daniel. That is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. By now, the other curious Oosburn goats had gathered around what was left of the unusual plant and could see Kaylee was struggling. The other goats knew exactly what to do. They formed a goaty chain by carefully gripping one another's tails with their mouths and began to tug away at the root. It was a big root, and they almost gave up, but goats are very stubborn, and soon they could feel the root beginning to give way. Finally, it popped right out, leaving a very large hole in the ground. We did it! Well done, gang, said Kaylee. Now let's all tuck in. The root was gone in a jiffy. That was absolutely superb, said Layla. Wouldn't you agree? The rest of the goats nodded and smiled, and soon they were fast asleep. So deep and delicious was their nap that they didn't realize that a fluffy band of cheeky-looking bunnies had crept out of the hole and were watching them. Maybe they went to bed very late last night, said one of the bunnies. That's very possible, said the bunny who preferred to be called Rabbit and took things more seriously than the others. It is also possible that they've been eating upside down, and because they're not used to it, they've had to lie down. Now, upside down is the name the cheeky bunnies from the invisible world give the plant the goats had been eating. The flowers appear underground and the roots grow up into the air, which is why it's called upside down. By now, some of the goats were waking up. The cheeky bunnies were dying to ask the goats lots of questions. The cheeky bunnies only knew the invisible world, and they could see that the world that they'd travelled to through the hole left by the root was very different. There was no marshmallow mountain or rocket ships, and no sign at all of jellyfish, which the cheeky bunnies baked into delicious cakes and served with lettuce custard. Good morning. I'm Rabbit, and these are the cheeky bunnies. We've come through the hole to see who has nibbled away at the upside-down plant outside our burrow. We feel the cold, even though we have thick fur, and the hole is causing a draft. Please close it up. In a flash, the cheeky bunnies were gone, and the goats very politely closed up the hole. But the goats knew that they had tasted something quite delicious and frankly irresistible, and they wanted more, and they knew just how to get it. They agreed that they would all get an early night, and first thing tomorrow morning would reopen the hole and set off to discover the delights of the invisible world. But that's another story. Now, I don't know if we've got time. Shall we have another story? Yeah? Now, this story is called Unexpected Guests. What happens when you've got a fluffy purple monster with yellow horns, a girl, a boy, a bus stop, and a magic sausage roll? That's right. The purple monster shows them how to use the magic sausage roll to draw a door. The door opens and they all step into the secret invisible world of Newbiggin and Byker and Oosburn. There are many tales of the girl and the boy and the purple monster. Now this one starts with a dragon called Sarah, who never came out of her cave. Once she plucked up the courage to say hello to a giant called Ernie, but an enormous fireball had accidentally burst out of her snout and Ernie had run away. After that, whenever anyone stepped inside Sarah's cave, she hid, shut her eyes as tight as she could, and kept so quiet she could hear them breathing. One night, on the unsecret side of Newbiggin, the boy was looking out of his bedroom window, wishing his parents would let him have a pet. He was staring absent-mindedly at the bus stop at the top of the street, when through the magic door stepped Clive, the most dangerous demon alive. Covered in slime, with thin, spiky fingers and small, razor-sharp teeth, Clive crawled through the magic door. The boy ducked down, hoping he hadn't been seen. But it was too late. Clive, the most dangerous demon alive, was breathing on the other side of the boy's bedroom curtains. He was so close that the boy could smell him. His breath smelt of out-of-date chicken nuggets. Yuck! "You sneaky little horrible child! No one was supposed to see me," said Clive. "Well, calm down. If you give me a pet dragon, I won't tell anyone I saw you," bargained the boy. "No way," replied Clive. The boy was about to open his mouth and scream when Clive said, "How about a dinosaur in exchange for all of the colours of Newbiggin?" "Deal," squeaked the boy impatiently. In a puff of smoke, Clive disappeared, and there in the middle of the boy's bedroom stood a brachiosaurus called Joel. The boy and Joel stayed up all night, playing and swapping secrets until the early hours of the morning arrived, and they fell asleep curled up together. When his alarm went off, the boy woke up with the biggest smile on his face, but Joel the brachiosaurus was frowning. The colour had drained from his skin. The boy looked around. His room was grey. He looked out of the window. Outside was grey. He looked down at his pyjamas. They were grey. Joel and the boy snuck out of the house, down to the bus stop, and opened the magic door. Even the invisible side of Newbiggin was grey. The boy suddenly remembered his deal with Clive, the most dangerous demon alive. "Oh no," he said, "this is all my fault." The boy wanted to hide from everyone and everything. He ran as fast as he could, as far as he could, looking for the loneliest place he could find. He spotted a cave and hurtled into the darkness, straight into a scaly belly. It was Sarah the dragon. She closed her eyes as tight as she could and put her hands over her snout to stop any fire bursting out. The boy tapped her on the shoulder. She moved one hand away from her face and opened one eye. She slowly looked around and noticed the grey. "Sneaky, sneaking, sneaky! Who did this?" cried Sarah the dragon. "It wasn't me," said the boy. "It was Clive. the most dangerous demon alive. Clive, the most dangerous demon alive? Asked Sarah. You must have met him, said the boy. Oh, I'm too shy to leave my cave. I don't really know anyone. Yeah, but Clive, the most dangerous demon alive, you know, covered in slime. No thin, spiky fingers and small, razor-sharp teeth. Breathes like... Do that again? Said the boy. I know that sound, said Sarah. Last night I heard someone creeping into my cave, breathing just like that. And he smelt of out-of-date chicken nuggets. That's him! Where did he go? Maybe he hid the colours in here, said the boy. Well, I had my eyes shut, said Sarah. The boy looked sad. Maybe we can work it out, said Sarah. If I close my eyes and you breathe like Clive, the most dangerous demon alive, then maybe I'll remember what I heard last night. The boy started to do his best Clive impression. Sarah shut her eyes. Take 2 steps to the left. A bit more. Now walk further into the cave. Stop. The boy was standing in front of a rock, and behind the rock was a box. The colours of Newbigin, said the boy. I hope they're in here. And they were. The boy and Sarah opened the box of imprisoned colours and set them free. They were so beautiful, and Sarah couldn't help chase them out into the big wide outside she'd been afraid of until now. She was looking at the colours twirling into a rainbow in the sky, all the way up to a castle where some unicorns lived. She was so amazed looking up that she ran straight into Joel the Brachiosaurus, who burst out laughing as his skin changed back to blue and green. Sarah and Joel got on like a house on fire and decided to live together in the cave. My bedroom's too small for you two anyway, said the boy to Joel before he went home and carried on dreaming about his perfect pet. Now, sadly, that's the end of the story, but it doesn't need to stop there. We'd love you to use your imagination and to think up the most colourful, the most strange creature that exists out there and draw it and send it to us. And you can send it to us via Facebook or Twitter, and we'd love to hear your stories as well. Have a fantastic holiday. Take care.
Okay, how do you say it is hot in Spanish? ¿Cómo se dice that it's hot in español? Se dice, you say, hace calor. Can you say it? Hace calor. Hace calor. Hace calor. Muy bien, well done.
Okay guys, let's go. We're walking round. Let's go and see what's round the zoo. Oh. Guys, what do I have over here? Wow, we have huge elephants. They have huge big trunks and they stomp around like this. Can you stomp like an elephant? Swinging your trunk. Wow. These are really big animals. Wow, stomping round. I'm fascinated, guys, I'm fascinated. That's the first time I've saw an elephant in real life. Wow. They are really cool animals, really cool. Okay, let's walk on, let's go see. What else have we got to see? Wow, what do we have here? We have monkeys. We have monkeys in this huge enclosure. We all know what monkeys do. They like to get into mischief and they like to jump around. Guys, let's come on, let's be monkeys. Let's be monkeys jumping around. Wow, they have fun swinging. Do they have big tails and they swing from the trees? Wow, can we reach up and grab the trees, guys? Wow, monkeying around. They always are cheeky monkeys. They like to have lots and lots of fun. I hope you guys are doing this too. Wow, fascinating.
How do you say in French the word for pig? Cochon. Can you say it? Le cochon. Le cochon. Fabulous, fantastique. Thanks, Rosie, and thanks for those wonderful stories, Alex. What a great idea! You can draw your very own imagination creature. I would love to see it. You can ask your parent or your guardian to send it to us on the internet by using the hashtag #TheGetUpAndGo That's all we have time for today, I'm afraid, but we will see you bright and early again tomorrow morning for lots more fun activities. We're going to go meet Annemarie for a make-believe trip. We're going to meet Juliet, who's going to show us how to plant seeds indoors and outdoors as well. We are singing along with Rosie in French and meeting more new great friends, Sarah and Ashley, for a story time from the Sunderland Museum and Winter Gardens. How exciting! Bye!